Good evening, world. This is a very serious talk we're about to have here. It's about what's going on in America. And basically, what has happened is Babylon has fallen and become the habitation of devils. This empire we know as the United States of America has, for all intents and purposes, collapsed. More on that later. I don't know how much time that YouTube is going to give me to do all this. So let's break things down here. First of all, let's start with important stuff this racism issue. After, I don't know, 60, 70 years of going down this path of integration, or what it's called, look at the state that we're in now as black people. Things are kind of, how could we say, tense here in America between the races right now. And it's a lot got to do with the changing demographics of America, the plight of white people, the dumbing down of America. But it all boils down to one thing, that this concept of white is just made up. Simple as that. Is no more than any fairy tale from the Brothers Grimm or, Edgar Allan Poe. It's a piece of fiction. It's mythology. It's folklore. There's no biblical evidence, no scientific evidence, nothing that says white people are superior to us. Quite frankly, when you really look at the scientific evidence, it's kind of a paradox, so to speak, because the whole scientific nature of this is something called genetic annihilation. We as black people, we got that color gene. White people don't have that. So eventually, we can render them extinct. Eventually, we will. Maybe a few more thousand years. And that's what it all boils down to. It's like something my father told me. It's all the lies white people tell about us are really the truth about them. And if you took time to really study it and see where this country is going, the only real solution is black nationalism, separatism. We need to separate. Because at the end of the day, this empire has fallen. More of that later, what really brought it down. It was Russian collusion, but not in a year y'all thinking about. So, let's have a real frank talk about some things that are going on. Sucks politics. And this whole Donald Trump thing. Let me get this out of the way right now. Off the rip. When Donald Trump was campaigning for president, he made a statement, right? He said, Russia, send me the emails. I said, whoa, wait a minute. What the fuck did he just say? Russia sent me the emails. You mean Russia? The people that got about 6,000 nuclear warheads pointed at us? That Russia? So I said, whoa, wait a minute. I know this guy's kind of unconventional, but this is, whoa. That automatically disqualified him from being president in any kind of way. I don't know why they even went through that Russia investigation shit. Wasted all my tax money. I don't know why. Anyway, back to the whole Donald Trump thing. So I said to myself, wait a minute. You mean to tell me this man just invited our nuclear enemy, a foreign power, to assist them in our election by giving some emails to blow open some big scandal for Hillary Clinton? Some people were dumb enough to fall for it. And he had, solicited the help of a nation that has 6,000 or so nuclear warheads pointed at us. Enough to light this country up from sea to shining sea, light it up. And I was like, oh my God. And all I could hear in the crowd was a campaign event in South Carolina. Was hee-haw! Lock her up! Lock her up! Now I'm going, these people have lost their minds. As a matter of fact, those people are traitors. Absolute traitors to the United States of America. Because if they heard that man say that, and like I said, solicit the help of a foreign nation that has 6,000 nuclear warheads pointed at us, and it's still at war to us today. Cold War never really ended. No, never did. And all they can say, yeehaw, light it up. Those people are traitors, absolute traitors to the United States of America. I don't give a damn if they're veteran, firefighter, Boy Scout, Coast Guard, Civil Air Patrol. I don't care what they are. They are traitors to this country. My family has risked their lives for this country since at least World War I. Black people going to war, risking their lives, shedding blood for the United States of America, where they're second-class citizens. So I know damn well I got every right to say what I'm saying, and it's just absolutely treasonous. Those 63 million people or so that voted for Donald Trump in the year 2016, they should be deported. I'm gonna leave it there. Now, about how this country collapsed. Remember that Russian collusion thing? Actually, the Russian collusion happened in 2008. Yep. Remember Alex Jones and all those guys were talking about, oh yeah, Obama's like a Soviet plant and all that, just blah, blah, blah. Yep, sure was. Soviets had it planned for years. Probably found Obama like in, I don't know, back in Hawaii or whatever. And they hatched a plan. And they said, hey, remember, let's back up a little bit. Remember, Russians have been studying us for, years, since the 1920s. After the Bolshevik Revolution, they've always had people over here in America watching us. And they've been studying us. And I'm pretty sure there's one thing they keenly picked up on was how white people in America treated black people, even though black people have never done anything to them. Think about it for a minute. So Russians don't have a history of having imported millions of kidnapped black people to their country to help build their country. So they don't have that in their cultural, history. So they can be white people. They may be kind of prejudiced. I don't know. I don't know too many Russian people. I know a few of them. They are kind of prejudiced. Some of them are. But they still don't see black people like Americans see black people. And they picked up on that. Other thing they picked up on how irrational that was and how psychologically corrupt that was. You know what I'm saying? How could you hate people so much and just hate these people and they've never done anything to you? The other thing they probably picked up on was this over inflated image of ourselves as Americans. That the typical ugly American, the white boy stuff, hotshot white boy, knows everything, blah blah, this, that, and the other. And the Russians figured out that they could use that psychological quirk that white people in America have to topple this government, to topple this empire. And all they had to do was get a black person elected president. Nikita Khrushchev even warned us back in like 1964. He says, we can topple your country without firing a shot. Everybody laughed at us like, man, what's this guy talking about? They had the Negro in the White House bomb in development. Why do you think, we can't find anything on Obama? We can't find any of his records. Well spoken, smokes Newports, plays basketball, married to a black woman. Perfect Negro. I'm a well-read black person, read Jet, Ebony magazine, been reading them whole life. College educated, Clemson University, degree in economics. I had never heard of Barack Hussein Obama until about the year 2007. Never heard of the guy. Came out of nowhere. Because the thing was, if he would have been out there, a big name out there, they would have tried to crucify him just like they've been doing to Bill Clinton since the 1990s. They would have had this long history of just absolutely assaulting him. He just came out of nowhere. And it was the right time for this country to get it sprung on him. There were enough liberal-minded white people, enough, people that were tired of the same old stuff, said, hey, what the hell? Vote with a black guy. Why not? It's time for this. You know what I'm saying? Hell no. I never thought I would see a black president in my lifetime. Not in America. Hell no. All of a sudden, Barack Hussein Obama comes out, wins the presidency of America. And so begins another saga of my life where I began to study. And it's a field I called contemporary anthropology. And it's the study of an extinct dead race society of people while they're actually still here to observe. So from the year 2007 up until the year 20, up until 2020, this year actually, no, 2021, I lived out there amongst the uncivilized savages of middle America, out there in the heartland of America. And what I saw was a sense of pandemonium, a sense of unreal nastiness, of unreal, just unbridled nigger hating. Or, oh my God. And I was out there in the middle of America in Grand Junction, Colorado for a while, and in Williston, North Dakota for a while. I was in Williston, North Dakota during the Trump administration. More on that later. Talking about Black Lives Matter protest bullshit. Anyway, so I've got to watch this country slowly descend into chaos. Think about it. There's no Russian collusion with Donald Trump. Russia's smart enough than that. Think about it. Without Obama, there is no Trump. You know what I'm saying? John McCain wins that election. Donald Trump's building golf courses in Sri Lanka somewhere. He has no chance of ever winning the presidency. Not even thinking about running for president. But the guy's a genius. He tapped into those millions and millions of white folks that lost their freaking minds when Barack Hussein Obama was elected president. And I got to see it up close and personal. I was working in the oil fields in western Colorado, out the natural gas fields, and ain't nothing but a bunch of redneck white boys out there. I'm like, oh God, man, these guys, ooh, it was an absolute bug out. And just the whole real personal attachment to being white, how strong that is to these people. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then when you think about it, they base their whole life on something that's not true. They base your whole life on a big lie, something that's not true. But yet, some of us black people are still dumb enough to think that white people are somehow superior to them. And no, but let me go on another tangent here. There's a way in America that white people are superior to us. White people got more money than we got. Point blank, plain and simple. White folks got a bunch of money. I mean, I figured out when I went off to Clemson University, I said, oh shit, man. And then after I got to Clemson, I worked in the brokerage business for a while. I'm like, oh my God, white people got stupid money. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. And here's the reasoning behind that. Why white folks got so much money. For like 4 generations of my family's time here in America, from Senegal, figured that out too, in North Dakota, another tangent. I don't know how long I got to talk about this. But so 4 generations, my descendants, my antecedents, were like working for nothing for 4 generations. Working for nothing. You ain't got shit. Nothing. Not a motherfucking thing. Right? After that, right, we were supposedly free. Most states had laws that said black people couldn't own property. Black people couldn't, generate any wealth. We couldn't have nothing. It was illegal for us to own anything. So if you take the average white family and you snatch out, say, 7 generations of wealth that their family has accumulated from under them, I bet you they'll be living in the projects in New York City too, probably. You know what I'm saying? So don't get it twisted that just because white folks got all this money to buy these useless material things that some of us will start to crave and treasure and all this, the reason why they got that money and you ain't got that money, because that cracker got, oh, don't censor me, YouTube. Don't censor me. I didn't mean to say that. Sorry. But he had a 7 generation head start on you, generating wealth, accumulating wealth. His bloodline, the dumbest white person in America, could accumulate wealth. but you couldn't. You know what I'm saying? So don't get it twisted. Think, oh man, I'm a dummy. I'm a dumb old lazy black person, and I can't get no money, and that's why things are the way they are. No, 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 black man, come on now. You should have better sense than that. Mostly, you should anyway. I mean, I used to be deaf, dumb, and blind too. But the whole reason for this talk is like back in '87, I was like a freshman in college, right? And I had this idea, man, I'm going to write a book. I was 18 years old, just smoking a lot of weed. I was sleeping with this Peruvian girl. Whole nother story, right? And I said, I'm going to write a book. And at the time, I had a damn thing to write about. I'm 18 years old. What the fuck that? What do I got to write about at 18 years old? I've done nothing. Now, at the age of 52, man, I got a lot of stuff to write. But here's the problem. I'm at a point in my life right now, and then again, it's 2021. I mean, one of my pastor friends even prophesied to be like a month ago. He's like, "You're gonna write a book," and that idea has been in my head for like 30 years. But it's 2021 now. I got a short attention span too, so I don't know. So I figured the best way to bring this message to the world is through modern technology. That's the way I look at it. But anyway, back to the degradation of America. So as I was out there living amongst these I call them uncivilized savage. I'm absolutely, because let me tell you something. For all the talk of ghettos in the inner city of America where black and Latino kids live and the families live like that, there's a big, huge ghetto out there in white rural America. It's got the same violence, the same hopelessness, the same lack of education, the same lack of hope. It's the same thing out there going on in rural white America. Same thing. I've had people tell me some of the most absolutely graphically disgusting ways of how they were raised up and things they went through as children. Things that I couldn't even imagine. That just some shit made me just cringe. I mean, I'm just going to come out and say there's a big problem with incest and pedophilia in middle America. I'm gonna come right in and say amongst white people. I'm going to say it straight up. That's what it is. No doubt about it. Drug use, lying, just living these absolute filthy, nasty, fake lives out there in the middle of America. Objectifying things. People, I know people that will kill you for uh, a couple of bags of stuff from Walmart. You know, one of the things I figured out was you strip away all that material, you strip away that material veneer on their society. You strip away that veneer, and they revert right back to an absolute barbaric state. I lived amongst the homeless people in like Grand Junction, Colorado, and some of these people I know were middle class, kind of normal white folks. You know what I'm saying? For some reason or another, they ended up on the street, and I've seen these people whose lives had descended into absolute animals. No, actually worse than animals. Animals have reason to do stuff like kill and be violent and stuff like that. Animals actually have reason to do stuff. This was worse than an animal. People that was some of the most violent, disgusting, just absolute filthy people living out in the woods and along the banks of a river and in cliffs and stuff, and getting all bitten up by spiders and smoking methamphetamine all the time and shooting up methamphetamine and not taking baths. And these people have been doing this for years, and these are white people. And I'm like, oh my God. And some of the most racist people you ever want to meet here, these are these white people that ain't got a pot to piss in or nothing. This dude's living in a tent, sleeping in a box. And he's calling me a nigger, you know what I mean? I go, whoa, man, that white thing is powerful, man. It's powerful. And that's how the Soviets used it to topple this country. Because think about it. Getting one man elected president really has no value because we have a system of checks and balances in this country that keeps us from having a dictator like they. So electing the Soviets know our system of government better than we do, and they know that electing one person in office isn't really going to have that much of a strategic effect, beneficial effect in their favor, unless it's a black guy. Think about what I'm telling you. I have watched this country absolutely descend into chaos. Trump is Act 2. Act 3 is things are probably going to pop off pretty soon. I'm talking about widespread violence in America. Things are going to pop off sooner or later because at the end of the day, we'll never have justice in America. As black people, we'll never have justice in America. We can go eat at the same lunch counter as white people. We can go to the same schools at them, use the same toilet as they do, go to eat buffalo wings with them at Buffalo Wild Wings and go see white people at the mall and all that good stuff. That's just a commonplace thing in America. We're just an integrated society, but that's a bunch of bull jive. There's no such thing as integration. Because here's the thing about it. White people will never let us integrate into their power that they have as white people in this country. You must remember that this country was set up for them, for their benefit. We were brought here not to benefit. We were cheap labor, okay? It was an economic decision, okay? Let's just break it down to what it is, you know? It's economics, you know what I'm saying? My ancestor from Senegal was cheap labor. You know what I'm saying? If they could have went and snatched up a bunch of people from Greenland and got them here cheaply and made a profit off of doing it, they would have done that too. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? So let's not get it totally twisted. I mean, we didn't come peacefully either. So let's not get that twisted either. So, but the very thing that this country is built on, this notion of, you know, this white people are God given and all this crazy stuff. Like, I mean, think about this for a minute. What kind of people makes up lies about God? Talking about God, they mean, man, like they down with God. God looks like them, man. We representatives of God. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't believe us, we might kill you. You know what I'm saying? But trust us. See that picture of God? Don't God look like me? Think about who does that. Corrupts the very procedure, the dialogue of God, of the Creator. Just make something up about the Creator, tell a big lie on the God. You know what I mean? You're like, man, those are liars and murders. That's what they are, you know? And that's what you got to look at it as what it is. And that's the only way. So we will never integrate, be able, I can't defend my blackness with lethal force, with impunity, like a white person can. White man can defend his whiteness in America, but I can't defend my black. That's just how the system is set up. So the only way we really have any choice or having any freedom on this North American continent is to separate. And they go, whoa, we talking about separate? Okay, let's dwell into this a little bit without the censors getting too tripped out about it. First of all, we're not advocating the overthrow of the United States government. The United States government has, or will, or already has overthrown itself. That's what it's already happened. This country collapsed in about, I don't know, about 1989, 1990, more than that later, when all the indicators were there. But this country is, for all intents and purposes, collapsed. Once you have people that no longer have faith in the elections, you have people that no longer have faith in just regular stuff that used to be normal. Your country's pretty much done, because the whole goal of the Soviet thing was not to cause like black people to rise up or something like that. Be like, oh, we got a black president. We just going to take him. Oh, no. It's much deeper than that. The purpose of it was to cause a split in white folks. On one side, you got the, how could I say this? Negro loving liberals. And then on the other side, you got the true patriot conservatives. You split the ruling class of a country, which is white folks, it collapses. 500 years from now, this will be a textbook case in using psychological warfare to collapse a country. 1,000 years from now, they're going to look back at this and said the very thing that the country was built on, white superiority, that myth of white superiority, was used against the United States to collapse it by simply putting a black man in the White House to cause a split in American society. And I can assure you, the split in it will never heal. Never, ever, ever heal. Them conservatives talk about liberals like they talk about black people. I mean, woo. Oh, I listened to that Patriot Channel and all that, and I'm like, oh my God. I've never seen anything like this. I've been watching this for almost the past 30 years with Rush Limbaugh. When Rush Limbaugh started that angry white man stuff, I'm like, oh boy. And a ditto head. Oh, you don't have to think for yourself. And Fox News came along, the internet, forget about it. Throwing top of it a generation of kids raised on Ritalin and parents buying them everything and not getting proper parental supervision, and I throw some high-speed internet out there, and mom and dad are out there chasing the American dream. And just like a neutron bomb or something in a society, this society is on the verge of collapse. Absolute collapse. If we had real leadership in this country, they would be preparing the American citizens for the day when we're no longer the world superpower, because we're not. China is. All that stuff about, oh yeah, we've been fighting communism. Yeah, all this and that. Communism's still here. Vietnam's, last time I checked, was united. No more North Vietnam, no more South Vietnam. Got China, got Russia, still a communist country. And it's just not sustainable for this empire to keep going the way we're going. The rich are getting rich, the poor are getting poor. We're returning to a third world country. And sooner or later, shit's gonna pop off in America. So, anyway, people think about what are some of the things I've been telling you. And maybe this is the first chapter in the book. So, anyway, I'm going to try to upload this to YouTube, and we're going to talk about some more things later on. I think I've been rambling on for too long here. Okay, I'm going to try to do this again. Later.